You're not muted, are you, Ben?
I hope not. I think I should be okay.
Yeah, I can definitely hear, so I think everybody else can, brother.
Hey. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. Yeah.
I didn't do too many because I have to keep going, but this is my first and I'm enjoying it. I'll allow myself a few before I drop onto a coffee, I think. So then, Ben, Viapiana Denim, brilliant, based out in Toronto. Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah,
it's all custom denim, which I assume means you make to order for certain customers. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I do custom made, like tailoring, not necessarily just with denim anymore, but I do, a whole bunch of different types of materials. But yeah, it's custom order. So someone will come in, get measured, explain kind of what they want, what they're hoping for, their hopes and dreams, and then we'll see if I can get it going.
Yeah, that's really cool. So tell me a little bit about, well, let's start from the beginning. Tell me little bit about your background, because that's a skill that, it's a skill which you've obviously learned or picked up or studied or watched in YouTube videos. I don't know how you've done it. You let us know, Ben.
So I got to get it right because my mom and dad are watching, I think. So, so it all started back in the day. My dad was a tailor from Italy. And he's still a tailor from Italy, and he's a boss. He does everything the old school way. He started when he was 5, so he has some crazy work ethic, and everyone in the world is proud of him because of what he does. And I respect that a lot. So I wanted to, go in that sort of direction. And he wasn't really into teaching me how to do the suits and whatnot at the beginning. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll do my own thing sort of deal, and so I practiced doing other things, and, I messed around with hoodies and, and I basically ended up with jeans. And, he taught me a lot, whether it be pattern drafting and just how to run each machine. But yeah, so I kind of started there in a small little suburb outside of Toronto. And from there, as some people might know, I moved to Thailand. And it had nothing to do with, it was just a vacation. It wasn't any sort of big major plan in my life or whatever, but I decided let's go for a month and see what happens. And that 1 month vacation turned into 10 years. So, yeah. And so I kind of, once I realized I was staying there, first thing I did was buy a machine, and I bought a fake Juki, and I made it happen with that. One thing led to another. Here we are.
So you actually sort of learned your craft over in Thailand then?
Basically, yeah. I mean, the first pair of jeans I ever made was in Toronto, but that was when I was like 16 and wasn't really a thing then. And then when I was in Thailand, I was teaching English for a couple of years, and I was always messing around with jeans on the side, selling a couple jackets here and there to my friends. And then after 2 years in Thailand, it was like, okay, this is my full time now. So I quit teaching and bought another 5 machines and made it happen. There was I got it going over there.
Yeah, that's really cool. So did Viapiana start over there then, or is that when you came back?
I mean, I started the brand over there. Like it's kind of funny, like the logo and everything I drew from when I was a kid. I pulled it out when I realized I was doing a brand for real, and I was like, no, this is gonna happen. And so yeah, I mean, I guess like the first sort of real sale in Thailand was all the way back in maybe 2007. That was one of my first sales back then. But yeah.
So what does it? How do you work now on a day-to-day basis in Toronto?
A lot of people they either come by, or I get a lot of online orders as well, which is interesting in the bespoke world, but it works. And so people will come by, like I said, and get fitted, and we'll talk to them about like if they want a jacket or a pair of jeans or something, and then go from there,
Oh, that's really cool then. That's really cool. So if somebody approaches you online, with it being custom denim, I mean, that sounds difficult to me, especially, I mean, is it always raw denim that you use?
The people that order custom clothing online are not your normal people.
Okay.
Right? They're different types of people, right? They, either they're rich and they want to play around with some stuff, or they know exactly what they want and exactly and they're willing to do the sort of homework to get it. And so a lot of people, like, I have a measurement guide where, like, you could pull up your favorite pair of jeans, and if you measure it like I did, then you're going to get the jeans the same way. There are obviously, a couple hiccups here and there, like if someone measures wrong or something like that. But, I'm pretty forgiving. So as long as you're kind about it and you understand that this is my full time and I support 4 mouths with my sewing, then, I'll try to hook you up as best I can. Right.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, and I know, that kind of blows my brain a bit. I've seen a little bit of the manufacture of denim, and people ordering online, like you said, they're not normal people. I understand that as well. Do you ever get any problems if people are measuring stuff wrong, or, and you spend a lot of hours making this garment for somebody? Do you ever get any hassle coming back if it doesn't fit quite right? Or
to say no would be a lie, because there are problems from time to time. Usually some of the sort of I wouldn't even call them disappointments, but just sort of like happy surprises maybe, or whatever, would be like on every pair of jeans I do a red inseam. And some people were like, oh, I don't want a red inseam. I was like, well, sorry, I do that on every pair. Like, if you look on every single pair on Instagram, there's a red inseam. Like, I don't know. I can't tell you that on every single, order, but there's things like that. Or one time I made a jacket for a guy and I did like the stitching that goes around the plackets or whatever. He didn't like it. And I was like, well, it would have been nice to know if you had a preference from the beginning. Otherwise I just would have, done what I do. Right. And I figure that a lot of people come to me for those kind of special details that I add to a pair, which, I spent a lot of time working on. So,
Do you get the majority of your business via your store or via the internet?
Yeah, it's a very tricky question. Because I have it like a store, it's not really even a storefront. It's just like a workshop downtown here. Mm-hmm. A lot of people will just they'll be on the street corner, and they'll just type in tailor, and they want to see like, where can I get my jeans hemmed, or where can this happen, or that, that for the regular type of person. Yeah. And then when they see it, they go, oh my God, like I might be interested in this. For the niche crowd, usually they know me, or they know of me, or they've heard some sort of little like blurb somewhere, whether it be on Heddles or on, some other forum somewhere. A lot of people find me on Reddit, which, I'm not on Reddit for my sort of made to order pieces. It's more of the repairs and alterations that I do as a little side. But, I would say the best way that people find out about me is always word of mouth. Someone walking outside and, they put the jacket on and someone's like, oh my God, where did you get that? And then, that's always the best way,
Yeah. And so can your customers design their own jacket then? Or is it a template? Yeah, they can come to you with their own vision in mind and then work with you to create it.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely limits. Like, I don't want to start accepting some weird like embroidery or like, if it just like sometime, and I'm sorry to any customer who's listening, but it's like when emails go on and on and on and on, and it's like, please, like no other company is going to give you a 7 email response back and forth, to do, like, so your first piece for me should be a pretty standard piece anyways, to know sort of how it happens, and then it's kind of weird because people buy a pair of jeans and they want it to last for as long as possible or whatever. But in the bespoke world, you almost want to develop some sort of a connection or a relationship with your tailor, where you go in and you buy a pair of pants. Doesn't matter what you really want, you just buy a pair of pants. And you see how the tailor treats you, how he does things, how he shapes. When you say you want it slim here, how slim does he actually make it? What's his opinion on the matter? And you test it out. So don't come to me with if it's your first time, come to me with something like a clean classic that you're going to enjoy forever, and not just like, I can't find this one purple jacket with yellow stripe here because no one will make it, and that's the only thing I'm ever. No, like maybe start from something a little more gradual, and we'll get there. Because it is tricky to like to achieve perfection on the first try. So it's always a sort of a building process, especially with new customers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, do you have to have a stock of fabrics in your workshop so people can choose a fabric, or?
Yeah.
I mean, how does that bit work? Because then obviously you've got to buy to certain minimums to get the right price. So then,
I mean, it depends. You know, I have right now, I probably have about 50 different salvage denim fabrics.
Okay.
And that's just the salvage denim. I have like shirting, I have moleskins, I have linens, I have canvases, I have some tweed, I have lots of stuff. So, and I don't necessarily buy, you know, sometimes I'll go to like the fabric wholesaler or, you know, and just even like, there's like stores where they buy out old factories full of stuff or whatever. And you pick and choose what you think will work, what will sell. And then I buy little stocks all the time. So I found salvage moleskin, which is like, who would have thought of salvage moleskin? But I found some army green salvage moleskin, a little roll of it, about 11 meters or so. And it was good. Good score, yeah.
That sounds amazing. Yeah, well done. Where did the name Viapiana come from? Viapiana.
That's my last name.
Oh, really? Bloody hell!
Yeah.
I just saw. I've got your. I'm reading through your website earlier, and I just always signed everything Ben Clobbercar. So when I saw Ben Viapiana, I thought you were just doing the same as me. No, cool. Yeah. Awesome. That's really good.
My dad's from Italy, so it's an Italian last name, and he also has like his tailoring company, and he calls it Viapiana Custom Tailor. So I call my Viapiana Custom Denim, you know?
You don't want your dad suing you, copyright and all that.
Exactly.
So what do you wear as a custom tailor? The average guy that walks into your workshop or gets in touch on the internet, it don't matter. What do you find what are the services they want from you the most? Is it a pair of jeans? Is it a shirt? Is it a jacket? Like, what do you find seems to come through the door the most regularly?
Yeah. It's so funny, but I'll go through like phases. Like right now, I think I'm on the Western shirt phase on Instagram. So a lot of people have been asking me for Western shirts. And then I'll do like, someone will see it and be like, oh, but I want like this. And then it'll slowly evolve. Like I'll do, like I did that rounded placket on a shirt with some embroidery and people got excited. So I think I sold another 3 of those, which I'm going to be doing soon. I don't know. It's like, I would say it's pretty even between like, you know, jeans, jackets, and shirts. A couple of vests thrown in here and there, but not too often. And currently it's pretty even. I noticed that in Thailand, no one bought jackets. It wasn't a thing. No one could wear a jacket in Thailand. But in Canada, it was like immediately I could see people wanted jackets. So it was exciting because jackets are fun to make. Yeah, well, I always imagine jackets are more fun to make than jeans. I don't know why. I just imagine that they are more fun to make, but it's funny. They feel rewarding. I don't know why. They feel more rewarding for sure. Yeah. I'm just asking anybody if they've got any questions so we can get some in on the side. Although a customer of yours, Jeff, Denim Mindset. Okay. Oh, he's next to you on my screen actually. It says he's put on his Viapiana jacket on for this interview. Let's have a look at it, Jeff. Need you to stand up. Looks beautiful.
It's definitely very slim.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember making it, but
oh yeah, what's up? The denim dentist.
Yeah. So it's very, I don't know if it's one of the slimmer jackets you made, but I like it.
There we go.
What sort of ounces do you go up to and stuff like that then with the machines that you've got? So I imagine when you're a one-man brand, basically, there's a limit to what you can have in-house at any one time. Yeah, so I mean, because I do sort of like shirting all the way up to heavier denim, I do usually keep on stock anything from a 4 ounce all the way, 4 ounce shirting all the way to the, standard sort of 21 ounce denim. Oh, I do still have the current record for making the jeans at 38 ounces.
and no one seems to give me credit for that. But whatever. You know, until Naked and Famous can finally do their 40 ounce, which you know, we'll see. But you know,
tell us a little bit more about that 38 ounce. Then how did that come about, and how did you sew it together if it weren't using a pickaxe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Mohsin that you just had on, he
Top corner is actually watching right now.
There you go. Yeah. So Mohsin, he asked me to do a bunch of pieces for a collection for the mill in Pakistan called Qasim Denim or something like that. And so they were the ones that wove the 38 ounce. And then, yeah, they asked me, I made a bunch of pieces, and then that was one of them, was the 38 ounce. So I, you know, put it together, and I rented, that was when I was still in Thailand. And so I went to the machine dealer that I'm buddies with, and I rented carpet sewing machines and like these huge like rice bag closing machines and leather, like this crazy thick, weird machines that like usually you don't really see. And I use those to make it.
That's a great story. I didn't. I mean, how did you and Morton get to know each other then?
Man, I don't know what the first time was. I think it's probably just through Instagram. And then he actually came to my shop in Thailand once, and then I saw him in Japan at the CC show that I dropped that collection off for Qasim. So yeah, I've seen him around. He's supposed to come to Canada, but who knows when that's going to ever happen, right?
Well, probably not now for a few months, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So what happened to the 38 ounce? Where did they end up after the show?
To be honest, Mohsin probably knows better than me. I think Qasim still has them, or they're in some sort of like showcase somewhere. Who knows? They're definitely not being like represented as my creation, but whatever, you know. So
this is really, I'm really intrigued by this because I'm getting like messages in saying that Ben is the best denim sewer hands down and stuff like this, but I feel cheers, but I feel like we skimmed over how you actually became it, other than the fact that you grew up with it. Obviously I know your dad's an expert tailor and I understand that part of it, but
yeah.
You know, surely it was a learning process, or did you grow up all through your childhood? Just, you know, learning snippets to the point where you were an adult and you kind of knew 80% of it anyway. You know, there's obviously a story here.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when I was like a really young kid, I remember like, well, most kids would have like chores like go, you know, sweep your kitchen, or you know, clean your room, or do this or that. Sometimes I would go downstairs and I'd thread needles for my dad because you know he'd use hand stitching or whatever, and so I'd thread needles or I'd dust the machines, and I'd probably mess up all the threading, but I didn't know. But you know, like I think subconsciously, all that little stuff I did back then, it just got stored into this sort of bank that I would end up using later in my life.
Yeah,
and yeah, I don't know, man. It was a fun ride. You know, a lot of it was in Thailand when I made that sort of transition to like make it full time. I would hang out at a denim factory, you know, a small one, but it was like 2 shop houses side by side, and there was maybe 30 workers at its peak. And at their peak, they could do, I mean, they weren't making good quality stuff. It was literally just stuff for the local markets and stuff. But it was really fun seeing like how fast they work and how they work, because it's not necessarily like, I'm not necessarily always looking at the quality, but I'm looking at how they made that seam and like, is that the proper way that it's supposed to be done? Like I would see people using machines, like talking on the phone, like, you know, like looking off in the distance, just sewing, like without even looking at the machine. And I'm like, oh my, it's, you know, I posted on Instagram a few times, especially last year when I went to visit Thailand. There's one guy where he's like felling, he's doing all the flat felled seams on the machine. And he shows on the machine, there's a hole in the metal, right? And he looks at me, he goes, you see this hole? And I was like, how is there a hole in the metal there? And he goes, 25 years of my finger riding right here. And so, oh my God, you know? So I didn't take those for granted, you know? Like when I saw that factory, when I saw each worker and you see how they're doing certain things, even just how they hold the next belt loop before they put it in the tacker to like put it on, it's just like, man, there's a reason for everything. And those guys were so boss, so good.
That is.
So I stole the info. I stole it all. They copy us, so I copied them back.
Well, why denim for you then? Apart from getting, what? I mean, you can learn a craft by going into a little denim shop in Thailand and learn stuff. But we all know that when it comes to denim and raw denim, for some reason, it kind of chooses us rather than us choosing that. And I just wondered why that was the case for you. I mean, maybe it's because your dad didn't want you touching suits. I don't know, but what is it that why the passion for raw denim?
That definitely has maybe something to do with it. It was kind of like, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna admit it or not, because he's listening. I'm getting nervous, but like, so I think he told me like he's like when I was 16, I was like, okay, I'm ready, teach me. And he's like, oh, you're too old, I was like, what? So I think it was like half out of spite at the beginning. You're like, fine, you don't want me to do suits, I'll do jeans, see what happens, right? And but at the time, like, I don't have the classic denim story that everyone else has in the industry. Like, everyone in the industry somehow has this magical pair that they wore when they were in grade 7, and it changed their life, and the fading was, oh my god, it was beautiful. And Jeans Freak has a denim blood clot for some reason. What? I don't have that, For me, it was just jeans were comfortable, they were fun. I used them when I skateboarded, I used them to go to school, I used them to just do everything. That was what I wore. So why not just make a pair? And I don't know. I don't have that like magical jeans story that everyone else seems to have.
When you're doing custom denim like you do, basically that's your living. Is there a waiting list? Like, if somebody comes to you with a requirement, I mean, I understand it probably depends on the requirement as to when you can fit it in, but generally, well, I suppose it's a two-part question. How everything's custom, so you're not even making a mini production line a lot of the time. I should imagine you're doing everything from start to finish, and that's a garment. Is that correct?
Yeah, yes and no. When orders come in, it definitely just goes into a queue system. So if you come in today, you're at the end of the queue, sort of deal. And my queue usually is about 4 to 5 weeks. Mm-hmm. When back in March and April, when it got kind of weird, that pushed it a little bit. So it did get up to one client. It was up to almost 8 weeks. But I'm trying to get.
I'm sure everybody understands that, though. Obviously,
I hope so. I had someone call today, and they were like, "Is it done yet?" And I was like, "It's been literally like a week and a half." He's like, "No, it's been like a month and a half." I'm like, "Bro, just relax yourself. Everything's gonna be fine," And I think it also has something to do with like people nowadays. They're just sitting at home waiting for stuff, so they get a little bit antsy. But and going back to the question, so yeah, everything goes into a queue-based system. But I'll have like cut days where like one day I'll cut maybe 10 garments, 15 garments, depending if my dad comes to help me or not, right?
Yeah.
And then so once I've cut all those, then I can kind of batch them out and say like, okay, these 2 jeans are stitched with the same stitching color. I'll do them at the same time. Or these 2 jackets are same cut. Usually it's, I'll do them if they're the same stitching color. If it's the same cut, it doesn't really matter because I don't want to have to go through and change all this thread over and over and over, in one day. So, yeah.
So, I understand that. You kind of batch it together a little bit within reason, and it can take up to 6 weeks in a normal working environment to get stuff done, yeah. We've got a question in here. It's from Martin. It says, what's your machine count now? Maybe we could talk a little bit more about that. The machine.
So, yeah, I'm a hoarder. I mean, I don't know, like, yeah, that's just the back wall. I'm not even going to walk around. There's literally, so I started off with 1, like every normal person. Then I went to 2. And then my next purchase was 5 more. And then my next purchase was another 3. And now I'm not in all working condition. Like some are just the head or, the majority of it. I'm up to about 108 or 10 or something. I lost count after 100. but I'm over 100.
Where do you keep them all?
Yeah. So in my space, I mean, I have a decent sized space, but it's not built for 100 machines, you know?
Yeah.
Actually, is it weird if I walk around a little bit and show you or what?
It's not weird at all. It's encouraged.
I was just on my lawn chair, you know? Okay, let's see here. We will start with, I'll walk out to because I share my studio. And so I'll kind of show you this with the light off over there. That's my buddy's studio. And they make hats, right? And then going back here, there is my cutting table that's full of crap right now.
Mm-hmm.
And over here is my wall of machines. So you can see, yeah, I know there's a lot. Hold on. I wonder, can I turn the camera around too or no?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. It'll pick your voice up, no problem.
Yeah, all right. So this wall, there's some tools. There's some 43 4s, plus my little gator. Plus this one's got, I don't even know, some Union Special sergers and a Singer double needle for the millinery trade, like some hat making machines. That's pretty much gold up there. Then this is like a Pegasus overlock that copies the Singer stitch. And that's like a blanket machine to stitch like blankets. I have behind closed, there's machines. This wall alone has about 40 heads on it. There's ones like this one is for belt loops, but I'm just stitching it off to make sure it works. This is single needle chain. Again, that's for belt loops. And then here, so this is basically the ones that are set up to use. This is for me to attach shirt buttons, and it's like a hand crank one, right? This is the felling machine. So I sit kind of behind it, and I feed the material through this way, right? That's my ironing system, and that's my stove. This is for waistbands. This is like one of the newer ones I have, but whatever, it's really boss. It's just an overlock for denim. This one is super cool. It's probably from the 60s or so. I don't know, like literally just take a look like this. There's, in this island alone, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, just on that side. And there's more down there, right? Those are all my patterns and stuff. And then we have, this is the wall of overlock machines. So we have the Singer overlock machine, Union Special overlock machine. And this one uses 2 threads, right? So the 2 threads would be, you know, in World War II. So if you're making like some repro gear, you got to use this one. And then this is the 3-thread version of the same machine. So that's kind of what I use on the regular. Let's turn these lights on, make it all fancy, you know? Wow. And yeah, and so belt loops, zigzag machine. And then over here is just the middle island with, again, crap ton more machines. And this is kind of like, it's one of my favorites. I don't know. It's just so nice. It's just so nice, you know, just so beautiful, right? Yeah. And then even though these 3, 1, 2, and 3, even though they look the same, this one is a single needle chain. This one is a double needle chain, but it's 3/16 gauge. So it's a little bit smaller. So I'd use this for shirting or for like, sometimes I sew my pocket bags on this. And then this one is 1/4 inch. So more of the standard sort of sizing for shirts. And then that would be 3/16 feet up the arm for the old magical number that Mosin really loves. And this one right here, literally, there is, so I've talked to people who say there's more in the world, but I've only ever seen one complete one, and that's right here. So thing is, this is not for jeans. This is actually just for like knitwear, like making t-shirts or whatever. And I'm eventually going to set it up on a table and, you know, make it all beautiful. But this one right here, never going anywhere, staying right here.
There has been a few questions asking if you're willing to sell any.
I mean, I do as like, not, I wouldn't call it a side business, but I definitely do have a few that I would sell. And again, it really depends on the model. And like I said before, like I'm very good friends with the machine dealer in Thailand. So if you wanted to like set up your own little denim atelier or whatever, and you needed, you know, like a whole set of machines or whatever, you could do that too.
Well, for anybody out there listening on YouTube or on Zoom, Viapiana, contact Ben, and maybe you can hook. That's really cool, brother. Thank you very much. Piggybacking on Mohsin, the next question. What is your favorite machine to use?
I don't like picking one machine, like just one like specific machine, but I like felling machines because they kind of require the most skill to use. And like when you do a felled seam is basically like on the yoke of a pants or sometimes on the inseam where the material actually folds together. And then there's a double or triple needle stitch on it. Yes. And that would be across here or on the yoke, like right on the butt or right down the seam of your pants. It'd be that seam. And so using that type of machine, whether it be, you know, the newer version or even the flatbed version, any type of felling machine is really, really nice to use. And when you use it properly and the stitch comes out good, it just feels like, it just feels good, you know?
It's I've got a little bit of a question for you because we're talking about machines. I know very little about machines. They remind me of old cars. They do a great job. They look amazing, but they break down a lot. Is that the case? Like, do you have to become almost like a mechanic within your own workshop so you can get stuff fixed and move on and stuff like that? Or is that not the case?
I definitely have... Like I definitely have multiples, or every time I see spare parts, I buy them just in case. But, you know, at this point, because I have so many machines, I only try to buy the ones that are like really solid or really good. Or if I'm trying to like get at a better score, but you need to flash some money to the guy before you can get in, you know, that's like the picker is like sort of in. You just flash the 100, buy something you don't want in order to get something you do want later, you know? Right? So...
Yeah. We've had a question come in. It says, what's been the best custom request you've ever had?
Ooh, custom request. That's hard. I mean,
would it be easier if I said what's the most bizarre?
Well, I don't know if that's what they want to hear, but the best, I mean, I would like to answer that in the way that like the best custom request would be the one that matches the customer like perfect. Like when they get it and they put it on, I go like, damn, that was actually just made for you. Because there's sometimes like people have ideas where they want like, I don't know, they want some weird embroidery on the back of a jacket or something, and it's like, yeah, but why? You know, that doesn't even seem like you'd fit with that. You know, I don't know. I have been doing a lot more embroidery, but everyone on this sort of 24-hour thing has been talking about embroidery, so I don't know if I want to keep going with it.
I'll just ask you one question. Do you do it all by hand, your embroidery, obviously?
Well, I have that chain stitch embroidery machine, you know, where, you know, you like a joystick and you just go have fun with it. And, you know, this jacket that I'm wearing, hold on, let's see if I can get off my lawn chair here.
Yeah. All right, yeah. And you've done that by hand?
Yeah. I mean, it was an initial sort of, oh no, my phone. There. So it was an initial sort of like photo on the computer or whatever. It was like a patch from some war or whatever. And I just kind of copied it out on some paper, put it on the jacket and went for it, you know?
Yeah, very cool. We've got a question in here. It's machine related again, if you don't mind, but
clutch motors or servo motors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's machine specific. Like I used to like clutch for my plane stitch machine, like I would like clutch because like I always just say like I could feel like when I could power through a seam and you could hear the machine just power through it. Whereas the clutch, you just press it and it just goes. It's the same sort of sound. But in all honesty, I have been switching most over to servos. They save electricity. If you leave them on, nothing happens. There's not a lot of moving parts, so you don't need, like, clutch motors have big open holes, and when you're surrounded by dust in a basement, it's kind of scary that if one of those catches on fire one day, it's a big issue, right? So there are, like, example, the buttonhole machine or the tackers right behind me. They need a continuous motor, so it's not necessarily clutch, but it is like it has the same sort of sound like a working clutch. It's not like a servo motor. I'll turn it on, and there's no sound, right? But on a clutch motor, you turn it on, you hear it.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's almost. I'm sorry, I'm just making this sound really simple, but where you said that you could feel yourself powering through it, whereas the other one just glides through it. It reminds me of either driving a manual or an automatic here in the UK. Like when you've got gears, you can feel yourself climbing up in it.
I think you'd have to compare it. Yeah, you'd have to compare it to like what do you call it? Like a Tesla or any sort of car that uses gas. Because, like, example, when you punch the gas, you can feel the car like just going for it. Right? But when you touch a Tesla, not saying I have, I've never even seen one in real life. Well, I have, but when you touch a Tesla, I hear like nothing happens. It just starts going.
Yeah, it just moves.
Yeah, it moves. And that's sort of like a clutch, or sort of like a servo, because there's no sound. You touch it and things happen, and you're like, oh, cool, okay, great.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I can completely understand that. Material section is endless. Do you recommend a certain denim material for a jacket from your experience? Let's say for like California weather.
Yeah. If you want a lighter weight one, go with the dead stock cone that I have on there. I think it's I-125 RD or something like that. It's a 12 ounce. It's dead stock cone from like I think 2000 or something. Like when they first brought back the stuff for the LVC or whatever. Mm-hmm. I got a couple dead stock rolls. That one's really nice because it's lightweight, it's unsanforized, so it still gives you all that cool texture and look to it. If you wanted something a little bit more beefy, a little bit more heavy, the I-163 RD is the one that's labeled natural indigo. It's very dark at first, but the color pops beautifully. I have a jacket made in that I made for myself, and I have a pair of pants that I made that's already faded and done with. So those are good. I also am wearing the new Vidalia Mills denim.
Is that your jacket?
Sorry?
Your jacket?
No, this jacket. This is just this is salvage from Japan. To be honest, I don't even know which mill. I think it's Kurabo, but I'm not 100% sure. I got it stock in Thailand, and I bought 5-6 rolls of it. But yeah, my jeans, they're the sort of what do you call it? They're Vidalia Mills. And guess what I did? Guess what I did with these jeans? I put them in the dryer 3 times. Can't do it, but I did it.
And they still think you're fine.
I'm still getting fades, man, I got honeycombs, come get me. Come at me.
No, I completely agree. Sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes when I just want my jeans washing and drying quickly,
I've only had these for 3 months, and I washed them already like 5 times in the dryer 3 times.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Am I the worst guy in the denim industry? Maybe.
No, I can completely relate to that. Although we have had a blasphemy lol comment.
I saw that. I can see all the comments when they pop up over here.
All
so
right,
it's okay. Yeah, blasphemy. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. I'll go to church on Sunday if they let me in with these COVID rules. Who knows?
So, how do you see yourself moving forward then? Like, is there a bigger goal with this? Do you intend to take on staff and teach them what you know, or are you never just doing your own thing, putting your music on, enjoying your art and taking your orders? Like, what's the future?
Yeah, I don't know about hiring anyone. I've had some interns. Keyword had. No one has the drive that I desire. Is that bad? I don't know. It's a weird one.
No, it's I know a few people, a few women that just live close to me that I've known and grown up with, that create and make. It's dressmaking. It's nothing to do with denim or anything like that. And they're really successful little shops. And I always said to them, are you going to get somebody on board? Are you going to get somebody to be part of your team? And they always said, no. I think it's almost like more trouble than it's worth. I just really enjoy doing what I do, and it gets done how I want it done. And I ain't got the headache of having staff or to teach somebody, and I completely respect that.
There was one guy. I'm going to shout a few people out if I can. So there was one guy who was an intern of mine until I realized that he lived like literally over an hour away. And it was, he was such a good guy. Koa, I don't know. He was a big deal on some sort of I think he was on, what's it called? On Reddit or something like that. He posts a lot and people know about it. But he was a good worker. He's a good kid. And he knew what he was doing, but it was just very hard to make that travel happen, and he didn't want to move closer because, living in Toronto is hard. It's expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during COVID, or when all the shops and stuff were closed and whatever, there was a guy, Jean Lomé, and he's pretty good. He knows exactly what he's doing with his life. And, well, not really, but he's got to figure. He's good at sewing, is what I'm trying to say. He's awesome. He actually he's working with Levi's right now, and so during that time when they were closed, he would just show up here, and he's real good. But it's like I said, it's hard as a one-man brand. You trying to feed your family. There's not much that you can skim off the top to just give someone else, So
there's people agreeing with you. Some people mentioning they wouldn't want the machines getting used by other people, and Jess has said, you're speaking the truth. So I can completely understand and appreciate that. But we've gone through all the work stuff. What is your family? What's your setup outside of this? Are you working 7 days a week, or have you got a family that you spend the weekend with, a missus? So let us know a little bit more about that. About you.
Sure. Yeah. So I have a wife and 2 kids now. My daughter is 5 and my son is almost 5 months. And so that's kind of fresh still. And
congratulations. That's very busy. I can relate.
Yeah. So it's been fun, and Toronto. It's funny because when you spend 10 years somewhere, like in Thailand for 10 years, when you move back, the time that you move back, it just flies so quick. And so it just feels like yesterday, but it's almost 4 years now that we've been back here, and we finally feel like, this is where we are now, this is it.
Yeah.
So,
and I bet, as your little girl, will she just be starting school now at 5?
Yeah, she started last year. So last year she did what we call junior kindergarten, and this year she's going to do senior kindergarten.
Yeah.
And we're going to put her in French immersion, even though I don't speak a lick of French.
And so I suppose that keeps you busy at weekends and on evenings, obviously. How do you find the work-family life balance? Because it's something I struggle with. I'm not going to lie all the time. It's I try and do it, but if you work too much, you feel guilty on your family. If you take a few days off work and spend it with your family, you feel guilty about work. You really win.
So for me, I do 6 days a week regardless, unless there's not much work, which hasn't been the case in a long time, thank God.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll do 6 days a week, and during the summer I'll do some hipster hours. Like I'll get in the shop at about 11 and then leave at 5:30. So I'm not doing too long, but I get enough done, And that way I get to spend some time in the morning and a little bit in the evening with the kids and the wife. And then, you know, when Roxy goes back to school, I'll probably be the one dropping her off, and then I'll go straight to the shop, even though I'm still not open until 11. So don't come here at 9 a.m. I'm not going to open the door.
You can come at 11:15 if you fetch coffee. That's what we'll say.
No, I don't do that either, because some people do that and it's weird, you know? Can I vent? Is that okay if I vent? People know that I like to vent. So it's like, sometimes someone will bring you, like, if you're a homie and you know you're a homie, bring some coffee. It's fine. But if you're not a homie and you just come because you have an appointment and you bring me a cup of coffee and you think that's going to buy you another half an hour, no. I'm business. You know, we got to get going, you know?
So do you have to, do you have to do pre-made appointments and to come and see you? Is that the best way to go about doing it?
It is the best way. I mean, because I'm not necessarily, like, I'm not really a storefront. There's no window out front over there. So it's like, you got to like ring the bell. I'll come up and get you. And, you know, yeah, ideally it's by appointment only. That way I can kind of plan my days. And especially during this whole, you know, SARS epidemic, right? It's, you know, not too many people want to be inside of a shop with another 7 people. So, you know, if you tell me when you're coming, I can make sure that you come, you know, half an hour after the last person or so.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. We've got a comment in here. I'm sure you can see it yourself. I think the kind of people like us, the ones who have one-man/person shops, it's hard to teach somebody else in your ways. Better everybody learns it their own way. That's quite good. That's a really good point. It's a really good comment. It's almost like, you know, as it is what's meant to be. And I really admire that. Yeah.
Yes and no. Can I like agree and disagree at the same time?
Yeah, go on then, explain it. Yeah, of course. But explain it.
Okay, like if you just have like a repair shop, right? And you're not like, and the brand name isn't your name, then it's fine. Do like, you could hire 20 people and 20 people can do 20 different things, you know? And then it just kind of like, it'll just happen. Like, I hem the jeans this way, they hem the jeans this way, whatever, it gets done, you know, as long as it looks good when it's done, right? But I don't know, maybe it's the perfectionist in me, but like, if I taper a pair of jeans this way, if I hire someone on, I expect them to taper the jeans the same way, so that, you know, we can have the same product go out the door. You know what I mean? I think it just makes more sense. And it's, you know, in the long run, it might be more streamlined that way and look, you know, at least the quality will be there for every pair.
Well, yeah, I completely understand what you're saying. I suppose it's finding the time to, I mean, if you set somebody on and wanted a pair of jeans taper in a certain way, when you set that person on, it's kind of your responsibility to make sure they taper. You teach them to be able to taper that jean. But then while ever you're doing that, you're not working on your orders. So I can understand it's almost like a little bit of a catch-22. But, you know,
I mean, that's why, like, when I said, like, with Koa and Jean that I was talking about, they knew what to do. Like, I showed them one time, and I remember Koa, the first day he came, I had maybe something funny, like something like 7 pair of jeans to hem, and I was like, just go for it. And he was like, bam, 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 done, you know? And with Jean, like, I don't think he used the chain stitch hemming machine before, but he touched it, and it just, like, he just knew what to do. And I was like, you know? Like, so... And he knows how to hem, like, I mean, he works at Levi's before, so like, and he had his own company and stuff before, so he knows he's good at what he does, you know. And it's fun to see those people.
Yeah. Well, we're closing in on the last 10 minutes, Ben. So I'm going to ask you a question. I do ask quite a lot of people these sort of questions when I do these sort of videos, but I haven't asked anybody today yet, so you're going to be the first, if that's all right, then.
Sure.
So basically, I'm going to drop you on a desert island, Ben. It's mainly going to be warm.
Is there electricity?
No. Well, that kind of contradicts the question, but here we go. It's mainly going to be warm, but you're going to get rain, tropical rain as well. And you can take 4 items of clothing, 1 book, 1 film, which I'm going to let you watch without electricity. and I will leave you with your favourite meal before you have to fend for yourself. And one album.
Ooh, okay.
So if we were to start with the clothing.
Okay. I would bring... Oh, man. Okay. Like the best quality swim shorts you could find. Right? Yeah. I would bring just a really good quality... Oh, man, this is so hard. Oh, God. I'm trying to think 10 steps ahead like in chess, you know, but I can only think 4 because I'm not that smart. Screw it. Let's, yeah, easy. I'm just going to think of easy. Yeah, so shorts, even though I never wear shorts, just so you know. Never. Shorts, a t-shirt. I'm going to bring a poncho because it's got a lot of material and I'm eventually going to use that material for something else. And, right? Yeah. And maybe a really big, awkward rain jacket. And then you said I get to bring... Yeah, go on, sorry.
You're creative enough to make your own shoes, aren't you? That's the thing.
Look, if you're on an island, you're not going to have shoes after the next 6 months anyways. So, no, like, right? And I lived in Thailand for 10 years, so the heat, no problem. Give me the rain jacket so I can protect myself. Give me the poncho so I can use that material for something else. The t-shirt and shorts, you're going to rock it every day until it's nothing, you know?
Fair enough. And then you get a film, get an album, a book, and a last meal.
Okay. So the film, I would... Oh, man, I don't even know. I'll give a dumb answer like Shawshank Redemption. I don't know. Like, you know, that's a good movie, right?
That's the most common answer we've had. Shawshank Redemption. You would not believe how many people actually quote Shawshank. It's a film actor, believe it or not. Yes, that's
weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's that like breakout mentality, you know?
Yeah,
like,
maybe, like subconsciously it brings it to the forefront to his minds. Maybe so, but yeah, you're not the first. You'll definitely not be the last.
For an album, I would take any 4 LP set on 180 gram LPs so I can crack the LPs and use them as knives after.
Okay.
Right? It doesn't matter what album it is. Just give me the heaviest LPs you can find, you know?
Viapiana is starting to make a lot of sense to me right now.
Yeah. And then the book, I would want one of those obscenely large Bibles with the commentary that's like twice as thick as the actual Bible at the back. So I could keep the Bible, you know, and pretend I'm a good Christian, and then use the other commentary as fire starter over the next 7 months.
Yeah, that's good. I reckon you probably get about 7 weeks out of it, but by that point you should have probably learned what else you can burn. So yeah, I get that. Very practical.
If I run short on pages, I'll start going through Revelation because that's the one that doesn't make sense anyways.
And well, this one you can just be completely selfish and unpractical. Your favorite meal?
Yeah, that one. Oh, I forget what movie it is, but I want like something like a T-bone steak so I can use the bone in the T-bone as like a weapon later. Is that?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that does make sense.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think ahead, you know, like if you're going to leave me with that, right?
Hey,
and
listen,
you're going to have to leave me with a knife. You're going to have to leave me with a knife to eat the steak. So at least I'll have that too, right?
Yeah, that is true.
Right?
That is true.
I'm going to have like the T-bone steak in my shorts over here. I'm going to wrap like a knife or something in my sleeve over here. I'm going to start unweaving the poncho and make a rope out of it.
You've got it. We've never had answers like that before, Ben. Never.
That's why they give me the big bucks, you know?
It's been a real pleasure speaking to you, Ben.
Yes, boss.
I feel like it's been a really nice laid-back conversation, but I feel like I've got to learn loads about you.
Quick funny story before we leave.
Yeah, of course you can, mate. Go for it.
So I'm not going to mention names, right? But I think it was like 2 days ago on our Instagram chat. And so for everyone that's listening, we have a whole Instagram chat with everyone that's going to eventually be on this 24-hour thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a beautiful morning, 6 a.m. and my phone went off. And I jumped out of bed and I was like, oh God, what? And so I picked up the phone. I was like, oh, Instagram. Oh my God. I think I missed it. I missed the oh my God, I missed the I feel like an idiot. So I answered it and my face is all like, like, hey, hello? And the guy that was there, he had an English accent. So I was like, hey, Ben, so yeah. And I thought it was you and it wasn't. And I was nervous because I thought I missed everything and I was a bad person, but that wasn't the case.
No, it was just, it was Albert from the
I wasn't going to name names, but
he'll not mind Albert. He just dialed us all with his ass. Because he had his phone in his back pocket of his pajamas. He managed to hear us all the call.
I could imagine, like,
that's because you thought
I'm there, but I'm there on the screen just looking at it like 6 a.m. like, oh my God. So wait, hold on. Like, and 20 people are like opening the screen and closing the screen, opening the screen, seeing me, my face, like, well, hey, did I miss it? What? So, yeah.
Yeah, that were funny, actually. That were really funny. Ben, it's been a pleasure. Are you sticking around? They're doing a West Central. Oh, no, it's the Denim Bingo next. Denim Bingo. Jess is doing the Denim Bingo, and then we've got the East Hang after that. Be great if you can stick around for it, buddy. I don't know how busy you are. And obviously, I know you've got family to take.
I'm actually going to close up shop and then drive straight home and then turn it back on when I get there. So.
That'd be super cool. That'd be super cool, Ben. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know you. Thank you very much for your time. And thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, they're probably listening in at the background. So Jess, hi, never met you, but have fun doing this, and all the best to everyone else who's on this today.
Amanda, I'm going to hand it over to you, love. You can unmute yourself. Thanks everybody for watching. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe, press like, share. We've got a raffle. It's in my bio. I am going to duck out literally for 10-15 minutes just to refresh.
Wait, I might need you to Jess, can I just check Jess is all right with all the stuff before you go?
Yeah, of course you can. I'll be back in 10, but of course we can't let it go on for 10 minutes. But yeah. What do you need me to do? Let me just make Jess a co-host.
Oh, I'm here. Yeah, I don't know. It's the same.
Yeah, so Jess is a co-host now, so she's as in charge as me. Do you need me to unmute anybody or no?
I think that's it now. Thanks, Ben.
Lovely. Well, I'll be back in 10 minutes anyway, so you guys enjoy it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, everybody, you ought to log into Zoom link for it because there's not really much you can do from YouTube, I don't think. So the Zoom link, it's globaldenimman.com. Literally, you either watch it via YouTube or Zoom. So just click on Zoom link, and then you can all participate. And I'm looking forward to spectating it. I've got a few notes to make while you're doing it on the next chats that's coming up, but I missed the last one totally. So we're recording this one, Jess, so we're not going to miss it.
Absolutely no pressure.
So yeah, you guys have a good time, and I'll speak to you all very, very soon.
So excited, Jess. Like, so pleased to be doing this again. Oh my God, it's just the best. So I'm not going to build it up too much. I'm just going to say it's amazing, and hand it over to you, Jess.
Thank you.